Thank you so much. So, मैं अब बिल्कुल भी आपके बीच में बैरियर नहीं बनने वाली हूँ. I request to Jayashree ma'am, please take over the stage and moderate this session. Awareness is power. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
So, good morning, dearest students, some juniors and some seniors, and of course, esteemed guests. Thank you to the Mishras. Thank you very much for hosting this. And it's absolutely a pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you, Mukeshji. Thank you, Sureshji. And of course, the most revered doctor that we have sitting right in front, Sundeep Jain, sir. Doctor, it's such a pleasure and honor. And today we'll make it a little conversational, okay? Think of some questions that you would like to ask the doctor sitting here. And he's the GI and a cancer specialist. Yes, sir? Yeah, sure. Today, you can buy everything from money, or probably almost everything from money, but you can't buy health. For health, you have to immerse yourself. For health, you have to exercise. For health, you have to eat what is relevant. For health, you have to learn to stay happy. So all that, no power, no position, no wealth can get you. So my first question to you, sir, what are some of the everyday habits that these children should avoid to lower the risk of falling ill or getting diseased or getting cancer? And what are the healthy practices that they should adopt in their student life and college life?
First of all, my sincere thanks to the organizers and Madam Pediwal for hosting this session. And now coming to the question, actually, in a very minimum words, if I have to say answer your question, the answer lies: just look after the lifestyle of your parents and grandparents. And if you see them, the disciplined life they lead actually is the healthy way. We have to see that what we eat, when we are eating, the composition of food. Not only that, in addition to that, the physical activity we are into. It's not important, it's in fact damaging that we are sticking to one particular thing in life, that is, I'm actually addressing the students specifically.
Yeah, that, because they are more in numbers. So.
And they are the future of our society. So if they lead a healthy life and be on right way, our society will be healthy too. So they are actually, the system nowadays is such that they are totally into studies and studies, not having a wholesome life. Studies are important, of course, but for that you have to be fit. To enjoy the result of that study, you have to be fit. It is not important that you achieve an admission in some foreign university, Ivy League university, you end up earning good money, good status, but you have to devote significant amount of your time visiting your doctors and hospitals. So look the life in a whole perspective, not only on a one particular aspect, and please follow that what you listen from various experts. And I'm sure Madam Pediwal in her school, in their curriculum, they must be teaching you what is healthy and what is not.
Thank you, sir. When we talk about our grandparents, we just heard, and we know the national record too, that life expectancy has risen. So something nice that the generations that are coming must be doing better, or eating better, or probably the medicines have improved so much that they help us live longer. But I'm sure a lot of your grandparents do come to school, and I do happen to say hello to them. And we see them with obesity, we see them difficult in walking, we see them difficult in breathing. So when we grow up, or when these kids grow up, we don't want to live like that. Long life also should be a healthy, fruitful life. So what should we do not to be in the same condition as our grandparents are today. They are bedridden. They are, I mean, they really cannot exercise. So what is it wrong that they did? And what is the right that we can do? There are lots of lovely things that we learn, but there are some things that we should avoid. So let's talk about what we should avoid.
Excellent question, ma'am. Actually, the health is nothing short of any mathematical thing. It's pure mathematics. What we do comes in similar proportions in what we get, whether good or bad. So first, coming to the elder generation who is suffering a lot, actually, again, the problem is same. We do see these kind of elderly people mostly in the most affluent society, unfortunately. So the definition and understanding of comfort has been skewed for last many years. We see comfort in, that we don't have to do anything. Everything we want on remote. We just looking after the shortest possible route to health, which never happens. There is nothing, there is no shortcut for health. We have to devote time, we have to inculcate in our habits, every smallest of the habit, what to do. You can see very well our moderator, Dr. Periwal, who is sitting in front of you. I mean, there would be hardly any fat if you want to detect it by any machine that she's having. I mean, this is a live example of what a health should be. And this is, believe me, is not a job of a day or two or a month or a year or couple of years. This has to do with a lifelong disciplined life she must have lived in various aspects or probably all the aspects of life. And you can see the pinnacle of success she is sitting on is again the automatic byproduct of the good health. If we just keep our focus on good health, automatic everything falls in line. Suppose you are not obese. You cannot sit on chair or lie on bed. You will move around. If you happen to move around, you will eat right, you will do some physical activity, everything, it will motivate. The disciplined life gets you a healthy life. Healthy life gives you motivation to do good for yourself, for your people, for your family, and that is what is success. And success basically starts with your physical health. We talk a lot about mental health, it never comes first. हम सब पहले बात करते हैं कि स्ट्रेस कम कैसे हो, डिप्रेशन कैसे कम हो, वो फर्स्ट स्टेप नहीं है. फर्स्ट स्टेप है फिजिकल हेल्थ. फिजिकल हेल्थ का मतलब है, व्हाट इज हेल्थ? जब मुझे ये ध्यान न रहे कि मेरा सिर भी है, मेरा हाथ भी है, मेरा पैर भी है. इसका मीनिंग क्या है? कि टोटली आई एम नॉट रिकॉलिंग द प्रेजेंस ऑफ माई फिजिकलिटी. वो कब होगा? जब मेरा कोई भी ऑर्गन ओवरवेट नहीं होगा, मेरे किसी भी ऑर्गन में कोई पेन नहीं होगा, देन वी डोंट रिमेंबर कि मेरा पैर किधर है. So this is the physical health. Once this comes, then comes mental health automatically. So disciplined life is very important, and probably the people, be it elderly or younger, they have deviated from some or the other discipline in life.
They lead a very complacent life, and that's not what we want any of you to do. We want you to be active, we want you to be on your feet, we want you to be. Another thing, sir, that I'd like to inform everyone, that there's a study by Harvard which says that children who have helped doing household chores every single day of their life are far more successful in their life. So all the parents, when they tell you, bas pad lo, tum kuch mat karna, main sab kuch kar dungi, you just sit and study. That's not the way. Please learn to do your own work, learn to make your own bed, learn to do some bit of household chores, learn how to lay the table, have some meaningful conversations on the dining table, see that you're able to share. When we're talking about anxiety, because we don't share, if we muster up everything within ourselves, find some friends, find a teacher, find a mother, find somebody to share. If you find that, you will find yourself with less stress. Because I know competition is too much today. And we all want the best Ivy Leagues. But what doctor just told us, that's not the only thing that we want. First is health, and then comes everything after that. Doctor, can you tell us how harmful is screen time for children? I know there's technology and we can't run away from that. There's a lot of research to be done and we can't run away from that. But besides that, should they avoid being on the screen, being on the cell phone? How important it is to keep themselves away from that?
This is a problem, very peculiar problem we have caught upon these days, and you know, we often blame our children for putting too much of screen time, but every one of us is guilty. You know, I mean, आप कभी भी देखिए किसी भी program में घर जाइए तो grandparents, you know, सारे लोग screen, you know, they are always busy on screen. It is very unhealthy. Starting from the eyes, which are looking on the screen. I mean, what is the problem with the screen is that there is too much contrast in that, and it is not soothing for the eyes. अगर आप पहले, अब तो नहीं होता ऐसा, पहले के हॉस्पिटल्स या उसमें आप देखिए, मूवीज़ में भी आपने हॉस्पिटल्स देखे होंगे, तो या तो लाइट ब्लू या ग्रीन कलर की चीज़ें होती थी उसमें, जस्ट टू गिव अ सूदिंग इफेक्ट टू द आईज. So screen is very harmful, and in fact it affects our mental state also, because it creates agitation in our mind which we may not perceive that moment in time, but it makes us irritable. It makes us, you know, it takes us into the future rather than to be present in the moment, and that whole thing in combination is very harmful. So screen time, screen is useful. All these computers, mobiles are important, but they should be used for the purpose of having some utility out of that, not for the entertainment purpose.
And does it also bring in isolation for children? Because this becomes their best friend and they lose out on real friendship, on real bonding, because they're spending excessive time with this cell phone to their heart.
Actually, ma'am, I feel the other way, that the fact that they are always with their mobiles is not the cause, it the effect of something else. They have forgotten about, you know, going to the playgrounds, going to the out of their homes for playing with their peers, with their other students, and that is why, you know, they have become friends to these things. So I think if we inculcate in our education system, in our social system, to make it mandatory or in some way, I don't know the how of that like we had our childhoods where in the evenings we were never at home. So similarly, we need to do something like that. Like today, I hardly see children or adults even going to the library to study. Even books they are reading on mobile or iPads. Yeah. So all these things are affecting us badly.
More sedentary life, because everything is available right here. It's extremely important to walk and to run and to play. Please make sure that you are on your feet and you're burning the calories, you're eating healthy. Doctor, can you tell the children what are the foods to completely avoid? Lots and lots of food has got some benefit or the other, but there are some that the children should completely avoid, maybe like sugar, or you'd like to advise them?
It's a very pertinent question. I would first, if you allow me to enumerate the foods which they should, you know, develop the habit to ingest.
Yes.
And it has got a very direct connection with all the diseases, especially since we are here as talking about awareness about cancer. So whatever we are eating or drinking has a direct effect on our chances to get these kind of deadly diseases. Lots of vegetables and fruits, very, very important. And in that too, one more specific thing, make a habit to eat fruits and vegetables of various colors. Many colors means all those fruits and vegetables of different colors will have lots of antioxidants which help us prevent cancers and which helps us give a good health overall. Secondly, high protein diet, moderate fat diet and low carbohydrate diet. As madam said about sugar, sugar is basically a carbohydrate. What happens, we often have a habit of, blaming one carbohydrate, that is sugar.
So does it not give you spurts of high energy? And that's really not good for either students or adults.
Definitely. But, in addition to that, we have to take care of other simple carbohydrates, like in the form of what we eat in the form of chapati or rice. They all are equally harmful because they also provides us lot of sugars. So sugar is important to curtail, very important, and carbohydrates in general. So as I said, proteins, we have to focus very much on that, and moderate fat. We should not shun fat away. Carbohydrate has to be in the minimum. So just a funny thing.
And ghee is the new superfood.
What?
The ghee.
Ghee, yeah.
Ghee, we ate, our dadis, our nanis, we ate ghee. They ate ghee. And now ghee is back into becoming a super food today.
Actually, when we talk about diet, the common mistake we do is we just think that this diet is healthy and this is not. Diet, or the healthy diet, actually is a combination of what we eat, when we are eating, and also a very important aspect is what we do in our whole day. Because if suppose our grandparents were eating, all kind of traditional diet, but look at their physical activity, their daily routine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that is the whole thing. Similarly, we are in a habit of eating whenever we are free, just to pass time. We are having lunch. I mean, our clocks are directing us to go for lunch or dinner. We need, in today's life, we are not hungry. Even then, if it's 2 o'clock, we just take our, box and go for a lunch. These all things are unhealthy. Just look for the signs your body says. If your body is hungry, then go for whatever thing you want to eat, whether it's lunch or dinner or breakfast. So it's a whole package where we, which is healthy diet and
Correct. Have you all got some questions? Can I see some hands being raised? It's so nice to, if you have something to ask, otherwise I'll continue. Anybody sitting? We have some senior students also sitting here. Anybody wants to ask some specific questions to? So, doctor, one more thing. What are the early signs of cancer that it may be in younger generation or older generation? What is it that they should look out for themselves or their parents and grandparents?
So, body signs for any illness, be it cancer or anything else, there are hardly any specific symptoms.
So something like fatigue, would you say that it can cause some kind of concern?
See, the type of symptom is not important. The persistence of that symptoms beyond 2 to 3 weeks makes that symptom very important. It may be as simple a symptom as fatigue or loss of appetite, or feeling
loss of weight.
Loss of weight is very important. Slight discomfort in the abdomen or pain, all those kinds of things. But or for example, what we say in a common language like acidity, gastritis, all those things, if they are persistent for 2 to 3 weeks, then you must see a specialist doctor. There is a possibility. Plus, please don't get alarmed that means that somebody is having a cancer. There may be a possibility of cancer and it needs to be detected on time.
Once you suspect, sir, what is the kind of screening that we can all go through? Because in the initial stages, it's curable. It's only in the last 4th stage that we need to worry. Your medical sciences have improved and improvised so much that it's not a fear anymore and you can survive. And we have so many cancer survivors and we are going to hear stories about them in the coming, from tomorrow and even today. So let's just find that out from you.
So to prevent people from dying from cancer, there are 2 aspects of it. One is prevention from the cancer and second is the early diagnosis. So I will briefly address both the parts. 2500 years back, Gautam Buddha mentioned one statement that every person is the author of his or her health or disease, and it is so relevant today. 90% of our abdominal cancers are preventable, provided we lead a healthy and good lifestyle related life. So if we follow that, significant risk of cancer to appear is decreasing, will be decreased. Second aspect is early diagnosis. Why it is important is, when we were your age, I mean the children's age, the cancer was a disease of people more than 50 years of age. Now there are two things which has come up because of the faulty lifestyle. One is the overall incidence of cancer is rising. Now we are getting more people having this disease. And secondly, early age cancer is rising. That means people between the age group of 25 and 50. Lot many people. Every month I operate 10 people of 25 to 40 or 45 years of age having this or that cancer. Early diagnosis means that the moment you get any alarm from your body, may it be very vague, may it be very basic, not very specific, if it is persistent for 2 to 3 weeks, please see a specialist doctor. Now what fault we do as a general society is, we just see our convenience, and whatever is easily available as a doctor, we just go and seek his or her advice. They may not be the specialist of that particular part of the body. Like previously heart related thing we heard about, so you need to see a good physician or a cardiologist. For abdomen, we need to see a good gastroenterologist.
Like doctor himself.
I mean, there are many of them, so it's important that we go to the right specialist. And one important thing is what we do we are very faulty in doing that. We are shy away in taking second opinions. We actually don't take our health very seriously. For example, there are almost 80% of my patients, they are coming having, disease or symptoms for 3 to 4 months, but many of them were seeking some treatment with somebody, but they are not getting benefited. And they are persistent with them.
Another thing, doctor, tell us, when we get cured of cancer, then it comes back. And do you think we can avoid that? Do you think we can take certain steps in our lifestyle that it does not come back?
So, to prevent ourselves from getting recurrence of cancer after a successful treatment, there are few things we need to be very particular about. So one thing is, choose your specialist and hospital very carefully. Look for the experience, and it is very easily available nowadays. Secondly, please follow the instructions very carefully and very religiously. When I say advices or recommendations from the doctor, I mean the follow-up advice. Like patient is being treated, cured, sent home, then I say that please come for every 3 months for next 2 years for these disease tests. And here we again become complacent. Even after facing a life and death situation, we are so complacent in our habits that we don't see it coming again. We think now
I'm okay, I'm going to remain okay.
Yeah, I'm eternal now. Yeah. So this is the second important thing. Third thing comes to the lifestyle, of course, that if you are obese, then reduce your weight. If you are sedentary, please be active. If you are having unhealthy eating habits, check that. Most importantly, smoking and alcohol. Since a lot of youngsters are here, I must tell you that smoking is absolute poison for every organ of the body.
Just hear this really, really carefully. You're all going to become adults, and then there'll be temptations around. Please refrain from holding any tobacco. Any form of tobacco is extremely harmful.
It's poison. Let's label it as poison, because it is actually poison.
और आप खुद अपने आप में जहर लेना चाहते हो, then who can help you? You have to help yourselves.
Tobacco in any form, either it's smoking or chewing tobacco, causes cancer of every possible part of your body. And the second dangerous part of this poison is, suppose you have taken this poison for a couple of years and you stop it. It takes more than 2 to 4 times of that time to bring your organ to normal. It is not instant.
Yeah.
So a smoker, if stops smoking after 5 years of consumption, his lungs will become normal after 15 to 20 years after stopping tobacco. Second, equally important is alcohol intake. It is equally harmful, though there are few positive effects if taken in a very, very moderate amount. But the problem with alcohol is, we as humans, most of us are not that disciplined that we check our amount of alcohol. So that is why it is important to avoid that altogether. बहुत सारे लोग मुझसे कहते हैं कि सर आपने ये भी बंद कर दिया, वो भी बंद कर दिया, आप मतलब सारे नशे ही बंद कर देंगे तो फिर करना क्या है, फिर तो हम पैदा ही नहीं होते टाइप्स. तो I answer them with this statement: नशा ज़रूरी है मोटिवेटेड रहने के लिए, and believe me, सेहत के नशे से बेटर कोई नशा नहीं है.
Excellent. Can we hear that? Loud applaud for that. Health is your wealth.
उसके अलावा उससे बड़ा कोई फ्रीडम नहीं है, उससे बड़ा कोई नशा नहीं है. आज आप मेरे पास पेशेंट्स आते हैं 100 kgs, 200 kgs बेरियाट्रिक सर्जरी. आई मीन दे आर सो बाउंड विद इनविजिबल चेन्स. उनके घर कोई बेल भी बजा दे तो दे आर नॉट इन अ पोजीशन टू रन एंड ओपन द डोर.
Excellent. We have one question coming from Mr. Goenka. Okay, I thought you wanted to ask a question. Anybody for...
One more thing I would like to add
Yes.
here. Many people in that same thing, when we say that, कि डॉक्टर साहब मरना तो सबको ही एक दिन है, इतनी सारी चीजें बंद करके आप कौन सा 100 साल जी लोगे, मरना है ही तो हम शौक पूरे करके ही मरे. So the actual reason why we motivate you or create this awareness to avoid these things and to bring you back to the healthy lifestyle is not to prevent death. Please mind it. We are all dying without having a disease. सिर्फ मरीज ही नहीं मर रहा. Every day we are dying. Every birthday is actually death of one more year in our life. It is only to prevent suffering in life. हमारी सफरिंग ना हो. हमें अगर हम अनहेल्दी रहते हैं तो हमारी सफरिंग होती है, हमारी क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ अफेक्ट होती है. अगर हम सफरिंग से बचेंगे, क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ इंप्रूव करेंगे, तो उसका ऑटोमेटिक साइड इफेक्ट है कि हमारी लेंथ ऑफ लाइफ बढ़ जाएगी.
Absolutely, so well said, because we don't want pain and suffering. That takes away our smiles and our happiness. And we have a huge life ahead to live and live happily. Thank you, Dr. Saf, so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
For
Thank
your
you so much.
words of wisdom. And I've become a fan of yours. And I'm going to be in conversation with you many, many more times for whatever little problem that I may face.
In fact, I have a couple of things to say. Can I?
Of course, sir, of course.
So one is about that alcohol. One statistic I would like to share. It has just come in my mind. Alcohol drinking and smoking has been picked up in India even in a worse form than in West, across age group and across gender.
Sir, बिल्कुल नकल में अकल चाहिए.
हाँ.
We are aping the West, ape them for the things that they are good at research and development. Not about smoking, drinking, partying. That's not what we want to learn.
So the statistic is, अभी हमारे पास 2 cancers हैं जो बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रहे हैं. एक large intestine जिसको हम colon बोलते हैं और एक breast cancer. And you won't believe, one hard drink a day increases the risk of cancer breast by 12%. Can you imagine that?
Want to hear it one more time, sir? One more time.
एक hard drink means it may be whiskey or vodka or whatever, brand कुछ भी हो, उसमें 30% अल्कोहल जिसमें होता है. एक ड्रिंक अगर हम डेली लेते हैं तो 12% हमारा कैंसर ब्रेस्ट का रिस्क होता है. प्लीज डोंट फील गुड कि हम 2024 में रह रहे हैं, हमारे पास सब कैंसर के इलाज हैं. यू डोंट नो द पेन पेशेंट हैज टू गो थ्रू द ट्रीटमेंट विच प्रोलॉन्ग्स फॉर 3 to 4 weeks if detected early to maybe 1.5 years, which includes surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. It's always better to refrain from that. And the madam, second point I would like to add here, I'm taking this opportunity because you are here to moderate this session. Actually, as a education system, we must have in our curriculum, it may not be having a weightage in terms of grades or marks, a mandatory thing about lifestyle thing, and death. The causes of death and how to prevent that. You know, these things attract us, and it is actually preventable. And
So
like-
are we all asking sir to come to school and help you out with the session on life and death? Yes. You're going to catch hold of him as soon as he steps down, okay? And put in a request, folded hands, that sir, we'd like you to come to school.
No, it's not a request. It will be an honor for me. This is a topic very close to my heart, and I will always be just a call away from you. Even if you give me just couple of days alarm, couple of days before, I would be, postpone everything to do that. Because it is so
Honored.
important, it will be very useful.
Honored, absolutely honored. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
ma'am. Thank you.
Dr. Sundeep Jain. Absolutely enlightening. And we are all humbled to hear from you, to learn from you, to engage with you, and to grow with you. Thank you one more time.
Thank you, madam. It's an
Thank
honor.
you, Minnie, for having me here. Thank you, Narendra ji. Thank you, Mukesh ji. Thank you, Suresh ji.
Thank you. all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
SK Finance, and thank you, Sethia sir.
ओम पारिक सर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि वो डॉक्टर साहब को मेमेंटो प्रेजेंट करें और हम सब अपने क्लैपिंग से उनको थैंक्स विश करेंगे. साथ ही मैं मिनी मैम से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि आप मैडम को मेमेंटो प्रेजेंट करें प्लीज. बहुत सारी बातें, आज बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें हमने जाना है जिन पे शायद हमारा ध्यान कभी गया ही नहीं होगा. इसीलिए कहते हैं कि कभी ना कभी कहीं ना कहीं किसी ना किसी की सुनी हुई बात हमारे ज़रूर काम आती है. सो थैंक यू सो मच बोथ ऑफ यू फॉर कंडक्टिंग दिस वंडरफुल सेशन विद अस. फर्स्ट सेशन जब हमने सुना था तो डॉक्टर भंडारी ने कहा था कि डायबिटीज है तो हार्ट अटैक कहीं ना कहीं कनेक्ट है, राइट? तो अगला हमारा जो सेशन है उसे लेकर अब हम आगे बढ़ने के लिए तैयार हैं और हमारा